everyone. As what Ashley has mentioned, my name is Yii Jie. I am the account manager for Amazon Global Selling Team. So basically what I do is I help new sellers to sell into the US marketplace. So just an introduction of myself, like my name is Yii Jie. So just a little PSA as well. So what I'm going to share today is confidential, so please do not share them broadly. So I will now start off with just an introduction of what cross-border e-commerce is, and then I'll get into how can Amazon help you to sell into the US marketplace. Let's get started. So most of you would be familiar with domestic e-commerce, which is where the buyer and the seller are located in the same country. So for example, when you're selling on Amazon.sg. On the other hand, cross-border e-commerce refers to where the buyer and seller buy and sell through an online store such as Amazon.com from different countries. But for you to fully realize, right, the potential of selling cross-border, let me start with the why. So as you can see here, revenue from B2C e-commerce from Singapore sellers could more than double in the next 5 years if they invest in cross-border e-commerce capabilities. There is definitely immense opportunities for cross-border e-commerce, but allow me to first share with you some of the considerations that you need to have. So firstly, the importance of having a global e-commerce storefront. So you can build your own site and acquire customer yourself, or you can leverage an e-commerce store that has accumulated a ready customer base. So the second consideration is the need for cross-border logistics solutions. So for example, for your first mile shipment, for example, from Singapore to the US, as well as your last mile fulfillment, which is within the US, let's say to your customer that is based in New York. And the third consideration is to ensure that you meet the needs of local customer and regulation. So products that sell well in Singapore may not do well in the US. So it's important to, before you start selling, to understand what are the preferences of the customers overseas before you get started. Not only that, it is also important for you to find out the requirements needed to sell certain product into the US. So for example, if you are planning to sell food-related product into the US, you will need to have an FDA cert. Next is the need for different payments, to process payments in different countries. So when receiving payments from foreign customers, it is important for sellers to consider the conversion rates as well as cross-border financial compliance-related issue. So after setting up your cross-border e-commerce, you also need to consider the need for resources, the resources needed to handle all the different operations, such as returns management or customer service in the local languages. And lastly, we are never satisfied with our current performance, right? We are always thinking of ways to grow the business. So besides the day-to-day operation, it is also important for us to consider how you want to attract new customers, how you want to establish your brand presence, and how you want to enable repeated purchases. So all these thoughts and considerations will set you up for growth and success for your cross-border e-commerce. So how can Amazon Global Selling help you to fulfill those key considerations? We help to support in these 4 different ways. Firstly, customer acquisition. Secondly, your cross-border e-commerce preparation. Thirdly, we help you in your day-to-day sale. And lastly, we help to grow your brand and sales. So there's no need for customer acquisition with Amazon. You can leverage on our global footprint and worldwide customer base. Currently, we have over 300 million worldwide active customers, 200 million Prime members in over 22 stores. So that is the kind of exposure you will have with Amazon. We also help to prepare you for cross-border e-commerce by helping out to resolve the most commonly frictions faced by sellers. So things like product research, overseas compliance, trademarking, listing and labeling, as well as shipment. So Amazon tools, just to name a few, firstly, the Amazon Product Opportunity Explorer helps you with product research. Secondly, the Manage Your Compliance tool can help you to identify and upload certifications needed for your product. And lastly, Amazon Brand Registry helps you to protect your brand. So across all the stages, you can also tap on Amazon Seller University or our Amazon Service Provider network of trusted e-commerce service providers. So many of them are here today. You can actually speak to them in their individual booths. So they handle everything from legal, tax advisors, payments to shipping. So Amazon handles all the heavy lifting of day-to-day operations for you as well, so that you can focus on other aspects of your business, like growing them. So with Fulfillment by Amazon, Amazon will process the order, pick, pack, and ship it on your behalf. We also help to manage all the returns and refunds, as well as all customer service in their local languages. So we have over 400 fulfillment centers worldwide, and we ship to 200 over countries. So this solution is suitable for both experienced and new sellers, as there is no minimum amount of units you need to ship at a time. So that leaves you with more time to do for the last part, which is growing your business. So Amazon Brand Registry, like what I've mentioned, helps brand owners to grow their brand. So not only do we provide brand protection, we also provide brand marketing tools to help establish your brand presence. So studies have shown that brand owners increase sales 1.5 times faster than other sellers. And reason behind that is because of brand awareness, which results in repeated purchases. And Amazon advertising also features solutions that helps you target by keywords, by product, or by audience, which helps your product to increase discoverability. And Amazon advertising managed to reach 96% of all US adults ages between 25 to 54 on Amazon every single month. And not to mention our Tier 1 events like Prime Day and Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which are designed to help sellers to increase their sales. So in Prime Day 2022, we actually saw an 80% year-on-year growth for Singapore sellers. So the next question is, why Amazon.com? Why the North American opportunities first? So the sudden epidemic of COVID-19 in 2020 has actually accelerated the growth of e-commerce, and we are still seeing strong growth potential in the US marketplace. So the US e-commerce is expected to cross 1 trillion in sales in 2022, and the growth is expected to continue for the next 3 years for 51%. So as demand for online retail increases, the US e-commerce sales is also expected to take up close to 1/4 of the total retail sales in 2025. Not only that, to help you ease the cost and risk of starting with Amazon.com, we have also introduced the new Seller Incentive Program, which consists of these 3 types of promotion. Firstly, for brand owners who are registered with Amazon Brand Registry, you can get 5% bonus on branded sales of up to $1 million sales. So that is up to 50,000 bonus in total. So secondly, you will also be granted credits if you choose to fulfill your orders, if you choose to ship to the Amazon Fulfillment Center using Amazon Global Logistics from China. So with the FBA New Selection Program, which you will be automatically enrolled with this program, it also allows you to get free monthly storages, liquidations, as well as returns processing. And lastly, like what I've mentioned just now, with Amazon advertising, coupons, all these are available for you to grow your business. Under New Seller Incentive Program, you will also receive credits on that as well. So allow me to clarify some of the common questions or misconceptions asked by sellers. So is the US too crowded for new sellers? The answer is no. As you can see here, new brands, we continue to observe new brands, new emerging brands do well in the US marketplace. So let's take Petite Simone as an example. They launched back in 2021, so that's last year. And this Singaporean brand continues to see 80 to 90% growth in their monthly sales. So they actually managed to hit 6-figure sales in less than a year. So About Lifestyle as well, they actually managed to hit 7-digit sales within their first year. So the next question that we get is Amazon.com only for the big brands? So the answer is also no. As we can see here, the small, medium businesses are the ones running the show. As you can see here, they actually account for more than 60% of the total retail sales and 50% of the total units sold. And not only that, Amazon is also all in to support small, medium businesses. So in 2020, we actually spent 18 billion to help support these businesses through COVID. And that's also another reason why we launched the new Seller Incentive Program, is to help sellers to sell into the US marketplace. Another good example here is our seller ambassador. So they actually sell very niche product, ceremonial grade matcha, and they decided that no, US is going to be the place where they start selling in order to get a sizable base for their business before expanding to the rest of the country. So they are currently not just in the US, but also in the UK and Singapore as well. Now let me take you through some of the important pointers to take note during the registration process. So a question that many sellers will ask is, how much does it cost, right, to sell on Amazon.com? So here are the 4 different types of costs you need to take note. Firstly, the selling plan. So there is the individual plan which charge you per item sold. And then there is the professional selling plan which charges you on a monthly fee. So if you don't know exactly which plan is the right plan for you, don't worry, you can always cancel them or change them anytime. Secondly is the referral fee. So Amazon charges a referral fee of 6 to 15%. Depending on the category that you are selling in. So for more details on the exact percentage, you can find it on our website. Thirdly is the fulfillment fee. So this is only applicable if you are fulfilling orders by FBA. And then lastly, all the other costs. If you choose to use Amazon advertising or coupons, that is the fee that you need to take note of. So for more details, you can actually scan the QR code here to calculate the cost that is required. So what can you actually sell now that you're familiar with the cost? We actually offer a variety of categories for sellers to sell on Amazon, but not all categories are open to all sellers, and some will require a professional selling account. So some will require additional approval as well, such as the food product that I've mentioned. So please find out what are the requirements needed to sell in the category before you actually get started. So these are the following documents that you need to get started, just to highlight a few that might be different from selling on Amazon.sg. Firstly, you will need a bank account that allows you to receive in US dollars. And then also for tax information, this is required for business owners. And lastly, you will need to have an active mobile phone. So please scan a QR code over here for step-by-step registration guide and make sure that you understand what is required before you actually start your registration. Yep. Before I end my presentation, let me leave you with some tips based on my own experience working with sellers on how you can get started faster, right? So firstly is to choose a non-gated product or product that doesn't have special requirements if you want to sell into the US faster. Secondly is to choose a product that is suitable for FBA. So what I mean by that is product that is smaller, that is not too heavy, or product that doesn't have any storage requirements such as meltable product or temperature requirements. And then if you do require more help in certain areas like sourcing, you can always reach out to our service provider network for more information and recommendation. So we have also compiled this guide, Perfect Jumpstart and Launch Playbook. So for Amazon sellers, the first 90 days of your journey is especially critical because you are building the foundation of your e-commerce business. So check out this all-in-one playbook and go global in 90 days. So here comes to the end of my presentation. If you do have any question regarding Amazon global selling or selling into the US, feel free to reach out to us on our Facebook page. Alternatively, you can ask me questions directly via the event app and I will answer your questions. Thank you so much.